Hi, I'm Rainy. In this video, I talk about my thoughts and feelings surrounding my dad completing suicide. So if that is triggering in any way, please don't watch, but let's get into the video. I just need to say how I felt yesterday. So yesterday was April 6th, 2021. It was I don't know if you call it anniversary, deathversary, I don't know, of the 2-year anniversary of my dad taking his life. He did that April 6th, 2019. I just kind of think about it. I think I just need to talk and explain it, whether anyone sees it or not. But yesterday just felt like a normal day. You know, people posted on Facebook like all their warm fuzzies, and it's hard because I want to post like warm fuzzy feelings, but also I feel like that, I don't know, like I get that's what, like, you know, we have to do to move on, as we remember all the good things and everything. But I talked to my therapist last Friday, or I guess on Friday. It's our second session, and I wanted to talk about dad because, you know, the 2 years is coming up. And like I told him that I get upset when I think about how like great of a grandpa he would have been to Melanie and our future kids, and then my sister and brother's kids, and just how great he would have been and how he's going to miss out on all this stuff. But my therapist told me, he was like, no matter, he's like, we can think those things and we can think the good things, because that's kind of what happens, is our mind kind of like forgets the bad and just thinks of the good. We can think of the good things and everything, but they would still be that person that they were when they left. So, which really kind of like struck me, because I was like, yeah, I'm like, you're right. I'm like, there were those, you know, 2+ years or however long it was, where like in 2018 he was going in and out of rehab. He went to 4 rehabs for his addiction to alcohol, and he either couldn't get over it or wouldn't get over it or through it, or however the proper phrasing would be. And like he did that, and he, like, when you would talk to him, he wasn't himself, because like the last maybe like 6 to 10 months, maybe, like you would talk to him and it wasn't dad anymore. And like my friend said, she said that something along the lines of, those who are in addiction or those who plan to take their lives, they say, like, they pretty much say goodbye before they actually take their life. I also felt that too, because like he hadn't been himself for a very long time, and it was hard that year, in 2019 when he did it, and then the following year, 2020, for the 1 year. And it's just hard because like it was my dad, but he wasn't acting like my dad, or the dad that I knew for a long time. He was just so lost in his addiction. And then also when my therapist and I were talking, he said I should write him a letter, write Dad a letter, which I thought about. Maybe I will do it. Just saying my truths. I feel like some of the things that I feel, I need to look at them without, he had a fancy word for it, but I can't remember, with outside judgment. I need to have my thoughts, have my feelings without that. And that would honestly probably help me mentally and, you know, in other aspects of my life. Like, who cares what other people think? Like, if my compass is pointing me towards this way, and it's how he describes it is we have lenses. So all the things that I've been through in my life, these lenses are, sometimes, you know, they're good, sometimes they're bad, and how we've like see the world, and you know, we can work on changing our lenses to be the person that we want to be. And I've said that I am glad it happened when it did, that he took his life when he did. So yes, it's painful for everyone who cared for him and loved for him and, you know, tried to help him and all these things, but I am looking at it and I am glad it happened to where only, like, for myself, I had to deal with it. I had to be there for my husband, and at least I don't have to deal with my child losing her grandpa like that. Yes, when she grows up, he won't be there, but at least, again, my thoughts, at least she didn't get to know him and love him and be attached to him like all the rest of us, and then see him waste away and have to deal with him taking his own life. And that's a hard thing for me to say and share it. I've shared it with my husband. I've shared it with my family that I'm close to, but like, it's hard and scary to say that because it seems like most people just want to share the warm fuzzies when they go to remember someone, which I get. I wanted to do that, but for me, it just felt like it wouldn't be very genuine because I have these other like thoughts and viewpoints about it, which is fine. I would have said that it is probably bad to think that way and how I shouldn't think that way and all this stuff. But with the people I've lost in my life, I'm glad my daughter doesn't have to go through that. But I think it is good to share that other people have other viewpoints and can show that, you know, it's okay to think this way. It's okay to think that, you know, it's good that he's not here, and like for him, like he's not in pain and sadness and drinking the rest of his life away. And we don't have to have that weight of just being like, oh my God, something bad is going to happen at any point. because that's what I had when he left his 4th rehab. He left against their guidance. He took a Greyhound bus back to Idaho. Didn't tell anyone. He just showed up at my uncle's house, and like as soon as I found out that he had left, I just had this like sinking deep gut feeling that something bad was gonna happen. I had this feeling that like he was gonna take his life. I just didn't know when. I knew deep down that we were all just waiting for it. That it's going to happen at some point. And it's scary to think about, but that's the reality of it. And it seems like, the like thing that haunts me is I don't like to think about, and I still get it, is that phone call I got. My aunt called me telling me he was dead, that he drove up into the mountains and shot himself. And just thinking about that just breaks my heart. But one thing I do regret from his funeral and everything is, so we had him cremated, and I regret not going to see him. My sister went and saw him, but I wish I could have seen him. Just to say goodbye. And see him. And just see him one last time, because it wasn't, the last time I saw him was January, I think early January of 2019. I really miss him. I miss him a lot. I loved him so much, and I wanted to like in some ways like protect him, and I can't imagine all the pain and hurt and sadness he had to think that he was a burden to everyone, and to think that the best thing to do was to take his own life. Like, how sad is that? We kind of had to do like a family intervention before he went to his last rehab to talk him into trying to go, because family members had to pull strings and whatnot. And I just remember telling him that if he can't do it for himself, to please do it for his kids, to do it for me, to do it for my sister, and to do it for my brother. I wish I told him that we found a house here in Germany. I wish I would have told him that sooner. We knew before, we just hadn't moved in yet. And that day, the 6th, Blake and I, here in Germany, we went to Ramstein, and we went like shopping for house stuff that we needed, and that I just remember that day just being like unexplainably happy. I remember it just because it just kind of a rare happiness that I would have. But I wish I told him that we found a house and I could FaceTime him and show him and tell him he can come visit and that he would have a place to stay with us. And there are times I wish I got pregnant earlier so I could, in hopes that maybe that would make him, I don't know, snap out of it, I guess, and try and get better. But I don't think any of that would have made a difference. As much as I, in my heart, would hope that it would make a difference, I don't think it would. I think he had his mind set years, months before. I think it was just waiting for his right time. I wish he would have texted me saying he loves me. I wish I didn't delete his number and all the messages. I wish I kept them. I can't even take they call it a touchstone. So since he got cremated, those of us who wanted like his ashes and something, I think my brother and sister got little angels that had a little thing of his ash in it. My grandma got an angel. My aunts got necklaces, like little pendants with his ash in it. I didn't want anything at first because that totally creeped me out and weirded me out, but I decided that I wanted a touchstone. It's this little stone. It's, I think, just a little bit bigger than a quarter, and you could put any color you wanted in it, and it's glass. We got blue, or I got blue, and they put just a little bit of ashes in it, and then also his thumbprint in it. My grandma's holding out onto it for me. And also his, I guess you'd call it urn. He's actually buried in the cemetery. And I remember telling them before they even put the ashes, it's a wooden box. It has a guy fishing on it. My dad loved fishing. He loved fishing. Camping, outdoor stuff. And I asked them not to put the ashes inside of it. I asked for them to put his hat that he would always wear and his glasses that he would always wear. Broken glasses because he was too stubborn to get new ones or get them fixed or anything like that. So I asked them to put that in there because to me, that makes me feel better. It makes me feel like that's more him inside of it. So my grandma has the box, which I'll take when I'm ready, and my touchstone. And when I went back to Idaho, I told my grandma that I wanted to take it, but at the end, like the last day we were there, I went over and saw her, and I told her I couldn't take it because I knew that they got that thumbprint after he died. And that thought, I just couldn't have that right now. Hopefully I will be okay to have that in my home at some point. Yeah. I wasn't expecting to cry. I'm glad I cried. It's funny, my therapist, and also like I've been thinking about it, that grief is like waves hitting the beach, where like at the beginning it's like all the time, like they're just like, it's like in a storm where the waves just come and they're big and they crash on the beach, and it's one after another until slowly it like fades, and you will, it takes time, you will eventually have like one come and then go away, and you won't have one for a while, and then you'll get another wave, and then it goes away. And I haven't had a good cry or any good feelings, or felt the feelings about him in the situation till today, which I'm glad. It's time, and feeling those feelings helps you move on. And being able to share this again, I don't know if I'm doing it for me or if I'm sharing it with other people. I was so scared to speak my truth, speak the truth of my feelings and thoughts, because I didn't want anyone to get hurt. I didn't want anyone to get hurt by what I said. I don't want to burst anyone's happy, fuzzy feeling that they have when they think of him or anything, but that's how I feel. That's how I think, how I've thought, and that's okay. I'm in the process of working to become the person that I want to be, not the person that I have become from my experiences. I think there's this, hold on, let me try and find it. I think there's this Pinterest quote. I think it's a Pinterest quote. And here's one that I'm taking for my whole life after I lost my dad or my mom when I was 12, 13. I believe it was summer of 2009 from, I was told, liver failure. She too was an alcoholic. So I lost my mom, and then losing my dad in 2019. So this one I feel is really powerful and I want to share. And it says, "The wound is probably not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility." And I think that's 100% true. And at the point I am in my life right now with having my daughter, and we're talking about more kids, I need to heal myself. If I decide to share this, then I hope you know that it's okay to talk your truth, the feelings and thoughts, without outside judgment, or outside opinion on them. Yeah, leave it at that. But again, if you're watching, thanks.